It's Ethan Ormis back again for another video today, and welcome back to the channel, guys. We're here again for yet another CDL video, and today we're going to be talking about the Atlanta Faze, and of course answering the question of, are they a dynasty? And I mean, after last year, I considered them a dynasty just because of the core. 3 straight grand finals for 3 of them. Their second grand final in 3 appearances, or in 3 seasons for another. That was last year. Now 4 straight finals for Abizi and Simp, or 4 straight champs finals for Abizi and Simp, plus 3 straight for Celium, and 3 out of 4 of the past seasons for Arcides, which is an insane stat, of course. But yeah, I'm just going to be giving you some stats, basically, and then I'll give you my answer. Of course, they didn't win this year, which probably taints their, quote, dynasty. But yeah, let's talk about it. So here we are, Atlanta Faze. An overall record in the CDL of 88-26, which is absolutely absurd. They have 6 chips, including their champs win, plus the champs ring, of course, with a total earning of $3,500,000 or $522,500, which is insane. They had a record of 26-7 through Modern Warfare, with winning 1.14 million in Modern Warfare. In Cold War, they had a record of 34-7, winning 1.93 million, and in Vanguard, they had a record of 28-12 with a 1.102 million earning as well, which is absolutely insane. Obviously, a lot of things have been added to the doc since the last time I showed you guys, so I now have a total earnings stat sheet here as well for all 16 teams in the CDL. So of course Atlanta with the most earnings by quite a large margin. Technically second place is Texas/Dallas, but I figured I'd add Dallas into it just because. So obviously technically if we just did the 12 current teams, no matter what, Atlanta is still number 1. And technically, I guess if we did the 12 active teams, Toronto would be number 3. Yeah, obviously Dallas wouldn't be there right now, obviously, but nonetheless, yeah, I mean Atlanta number 1 in tournament wins, obviously tied for the most rings with franchises such as Texas/Dallas, and then of course now LA Thieves/Optic Gaming LA back from MW. And then taking a look at some org standings, I've also added this for every team in the league. This one's pretty cool, I think, so you can see everyone's placings throughout the year. And of course I organized them per year as well. I have their total earnings and how many chips they've won as well. So yeah, Atlanta, 6 tournament victories, which also the champs win from last year is included into the tournament. That is considered a chip. So that is 6 chips plus the champs ring. So no, it's not 7 different tournaments. It's 6 tournaments. But yeah, back in MW, they won 2 events. They went to 6 grand finals that year out of their 8 tournaments that they were at. The other 2 that they were at that they did not place, or that they did not make the grand final, they were top 4. They finished the regular season as the number 1 seed and placed 2nd at champs, winning the 2nd overall for earnings that season with 1.14 million. So I also added this as well, these earnings standings for each season. So yeah, Atlanta placed 2nd in earnings that year. Then we go to Cold War. They won 3 events. They made it to 4 grand finals. They did not place 3rd, 4th, top 6. They placed top 8 once. Did not place top 10. Did not place top 12. They finished the regular season as the number 1 seed. They won champs, of course, and earning $1.93 million. And then again, going to Cold War, that is first place for them in the standings for earnings. And then back to this. Vanguard, of course, did not win an event this year. They placed 2nd 3 times, so that's 3 grand finals for them. They placed 3rd once. They did not place top 4. They did not place 3rd or 4th at either the Pro-Am or the Kickoff. They did not place top 6. They did not place top 8. They placed top 8, 5th through 8 at both Pro-Am and the Kickoff Classic. They did not place top 12. They finished the regular season as the number 1 seed. They placed second at Champs, winning $1.102 million, which gives them the second place position here in Vanguard as well. So, yeah, pretty crazy, of course. I mean, Atlanta basically leads everything. In MW, they were second for earnings. In Cold War, they were first. And in Vanguard, they were second. They have the most Grand Finals appearances with 16 Grand Finals out of 26 events. So there was only 10 events that they did not place, or that they did not make the Grand Final. Plus, in MW, actually, I guess I could show you here, there are 4 events throughout the year that they did not compete at. So they did not compete at the London Royal Ravens home series, or the Dallas Empire home series, or the Seattle Surge home series, or the London Royal Ravens home series, which means technically Atlanta has made it to 16 Grand Finals out of 22 possible Grand Finals. That is insane. Absolutely insane. Like, that is a crazy stat. An overall record of 88-26, like I said. They're one of the few teams that have played over like 105 series because they win so much. This year, with their record of 28-12, is their worst year in the CDL, which is hilarious because if you compare it to the worst stat line in CWL history, it's of course Paris this year with the 2-23. So, I mean, Paris overall has 20 wins. They have less wins than Atlanta has losses, which is pretty insane. Atlanta has 68 more series wins than the Paris Legion, which, again, is insane. So then to show you guys some other stats, I couldn't find stats for the MW season, but if I'm not mistaken, just based off memory, I believe Simp was first in overall KD that year. I think he was definitely top 5, and I think Celium and Abizi were also top 5 that year. So yeah, 3 out of the top 5 in KDs in Modern Warfare. Then you go to Cold War. Simp had the number 1 KD, while Celium had the number 2 KD. Simp and Cell both in the top 5 for hardpoint KDs. Abizi in the top 5 for S&D KDs, and Simp, Celium, and Abizi in the top 5 for control KDs last year, which again is insane. Of course, last year was like insane from Atlanta Faze. Then you go on to this year. Here in Vanguard, Celium, of course, with the highest KD at number 1. Then you go to Hardpoint, again, Celium at number 1. S&D, Celium at number 1. Control, Celium at number 2, which, again, just absolutely insane. This guy is a maniac. Arguably the best player throughout all 3 years of the CDL. Of course, Abizi and Simpton have incredible years this year like they did the past 2 years. Where, I mean, of course, being an AR in Vanguard definitely benefits your stats. Clearly, Cell, Dashi, Attach, and Methods. Obviously, Pred, I mean, he just went crazy this year. This game definitely suits his playstyle. But nonetheless, yeah, last year as well in Cold War, Simp wins the season MVP, and Abizi wins the Champs MVP. So, yeah, I mean, unreal again. And then you look at this year again, Celium with the player MVP. And last year, I believe at all 4 events, there was or all 4 wins for Atlanta last year. Each of the player won MVP. So Abizi won the Champs MVP. I think Simp won Major 1 or Stage 1's MVP. I think Arcides got number 3. Cell got number 4, and then I believe Abizi, of course, at Champs. So, yeah, I mean, again, I think it's still an argument that could be made, but overall, I just do think the Atlanta Faze are a dynasty. They have the highest series win count, by far the best record through series as well. They've made 16 Grand Finals out of a possible 22 for them. There's only been 26 finals throughout the CDL, and Atlanta has made 16 of them, and again, 4 of those they weren't even at the event because that's just how the home series were back in MW. So 16 out of 22 events, only missing 6 grand finals, and those grand finals would be, they weren't at London, were they at New York? I think they were at New York. Let me see. New York. Yeah, they placed top 4 at New York. They placed top 4 at the LA home series as well. So, yeah, only 2 events that they were at, of course, in MW that they did not make the grand final. Then to Cold War, they didn't make the grand final for Stage 5. That's where they placed top 8. And then, of course, yeah, that was it. They went to every other grand final last year in Cold War, which, again, just insane. And then Vanguard this year, of course, they didn't make it to the kickoff or the Pro-Am grand finals. And then they missed Major 4 finals, placing 3rd, I believe. Let me just go check that real quick. Major 4, yeah, they placed 3rd. So, yeah, I mean, again, pretty fucking insane. In my opinion, I do think the Atlanta Faze are a dynasty. Again, I mean, I'm sure people are going to argue just because of this year not winning an event, but overall, I mean, just looking at what they have done these past 3 years, plus if you include the E United run back in BO4, sorry, I mean, you know, there's 3 rings for a BZ, there's 2 rings for a BZ, Simp, and Arcides. From the E United run and the Cold War win. Of course, 1 ring for Celium back in Cold War, but that is 4 straight grand finals at Champs for Abizi and Simp, 3 straight for Celium, and 3 out of the last 4 for Arcides. And who knows, if Arcides was on that team back in MW, who knows, maybe they do worse, maybe they do better, maybe they win Champs, literally. Who knows? But again, I mean, just because of the stuff I've shown you guys, I feel like it's hard to argue that the Atlanta Faze aren't a dynasty, but again, in my opinion, I do think they are a dynasty. So please let me know your guys' thoughts on this. I'm very intrigued to know. I think it is a debate slightly, but for the most part, I just think that it's not that big of a debate, and I just do think the Atlanta Faze are a dynasty. So overall, let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm intrigued to know. Yeah, I hope this video gets out to people because I really want to know your guys' opinions. Plus, I've spent a lot of time and hard work on this Google Sheets. I've been working on this since the off season of Cold War. Well, actually, no, it wasn't even the off season. I was working on this during the Cold War season. I think I started this back in Stage 3 or after Stage 3 of Cold War. So it's been well over a year now, almost a year and a half. And yeah, obviously, again, I've worked very hard on this. I have everything up to date that I want in it. I am going to share this for you guys, you know, so you guys can view it whenever you'd like. I don't think that I will be doing that in this video, but yeah, eventually it will be there for you guys so you can take a look at it. So again, let me know your thoughts. I just think Atlanta is the dynasty of the CDL era. I think they are the dynasty right now. I think they can be considered a dynasty. And I can only imagine what they're going to do next year. I think they bounce back next year for MW2 2022. Yeah, again, let me know your guys' thoughts. I'm intrigued to know. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. Hopefully you did enjoy. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.